Alrighty, we are live. What's going on, everybody, on this Wednesday evening? Little pre-Thanksgiving W for the New York Knicks as they go down to Charlotte and sting the Charlotte Hornets by a final score of 129 to 101. This needed to be done, and the New York Knicks got it done in many different ways, and I love the way they played in this game. And I love the way they've been playing these last couple of games. Granted, it's been against some really bad competition, but still, you play who's on your schedule, right? You make no excuses for W's in the NBA. I mean, every team in the NBA will play the Hornets and will play the Nets. But, you know, last year we had some shaky games against the Charlotte Hornets, if you guys don't recall. So this one was an absolute ass-kicking from start to finish. And the New York Knicks win 129 to 101. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Once again, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. How is everybody doing, ladies and gentlemen? How you guys doing? Tonight was a fun game. Especially for Josh Hart. Knicks changed up the starting lineup. Mitchell Robinson came in off the bench. And they started with McBride. They started with Josh Hart. And it looked really good. Like, the offense was really good tonight. Like, amazing. And if Josh Hart is going to continue... First of all, Josh Hart loves starting, by the way. And I even tweeted on the X account, like, should we keep Josh Hart in the starting lineup? Because this looks fun. Like this, especially when Josh Hart is shooting with confidence and when Josh Hart is making his threes and he's shooting, 44% from three in the month of November. Shout out to the shooting coach. Josh Hart is playing absolutely incredible lately for this New York Knicks team. And tonight, Josh Hart, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, right? Knicks opened up this game hitting 12 of their first 16 shots. Josh Hart was really good tonight offensively and defensively. Brunson was really amazing offensively, really good defensively as well. But the Knicks look fun when Josh Hart is playing like this. This is when they are at their peak. This is when they are really dangerous. When Josh Hart is not hesitating, when he's shooting with confidence, not thinking, catching, shooting, quick decisions, this is when we've seen this Knicks team in the past play really, really well. And that's because of Josh Hart, number 3, right? Kind of like the oil in the engine. And his play as of late has been really good for this team. And I know it was against the Nets. I know it was against the Hornets tonight. But I thought it was a really cool wrinkle that Mike Brown threw at us tonight, putting Mitchell Robinson on the bench. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a long-term thing, starting Josh Hart, but he has started these last couple of games. Like, no OG, no Landry Shamet. But putting Josh Hart in the starting lineup, things look normal. And that allows Karl-Anthony Towns to free flow at the 5, which we saw all of last year, where he had a great offensive year for the New York Knicks. That allows that just opens up the space for Cat to operate in the post, especially when Josh Hart is shooting like the way he has been shooting lately. And that's an important factor, the shooting from Josh Hart, right? I want to preface by saying that he is shooting lights out. Like, he Like in the month of October, he shot 10% from three. He's basically shooting with four fingers. Like he's basically shooting with four fingers, and he's shooting 40. Nah, I think it was 41% in November. I think it probably went up tonight. He was 4 or 6 from three tonight. Let me share my screen. Once again, appreciate you guys in the chat. As always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. New York Knicks win. What's going on, everybody? You guys getting ready for Thanksgiving? Getting your stomachs ready, huh? I can't wait to feast. I'm trying to zoom out. Excuse me. Sorry. All right. Why is this so big? Okay. There we go. All right. I see every single one of you in the chat. Esquire says, get those likes up. Appreciate you as always. Thank you for the support. Grilled Mouth says no. Nostalgic. What's going on, Nostalgic? Haven't seen you in a while. Dis Rover's in the building. Dis Rover. Yuri's in the building. Says good bloody win. Joel. And can we make the NBA Cup playoffs or no? Because we probably won't win our group. How can we? I think they said it. I have to, do some digging. I think they still can. I have to look at the standings, Joel. I have to look at the standings. Once again, appreciate you guys in the chat. Chris Gotti, what's going on? Appreciate you in the chat. Appreciate every single one of you in the chat. Esquire says, great shooting night from Hart and Deuce McBride. Yes, Josh Hart, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Let me get this final score bug off the screen so you guys can see it. There we go. All right. Deuce McBride, we knew that he wasn't going to miss all of his open shots, right? So he hit a little bit of a cold streak over the last 2 games, just missing wide open shots. And I said last post game, I want Deuce McBride shooting open shots. I mean, he makes them, 40% of the time. And tonight was a positive regression night for Deuce McBride. 5 of 5 from 3. Absolutely incredible. Plus 27 on the night. Highest on the New York Knicks. 19 points. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Deuce McBride with an incredible shooting performance. Jalen Brunson absolutely cooking the Charlotte Hornets, cooking LaMelo Ball, who is, quite frankly, kind of a loser player, LaMelo Ball. And it sucks because he is so talented, and they gave him this extension. He can't play defense. I probably think he's going to get traded, but that situation is terrible. Mikal Bridges, man, boy, oh boy. Mikal Bridges. No coquito tonight. I got it after the post game. I'll go get it right now if you guys want. Shout out to you for always staying the member and becoming a member. I brought up the coquito for my members on the video I posted. Appreciate that. Mikal Bridges. All defensive team type of year for Mikal Bridges, right? All defensive team type of year. Like first team, all defensive team type of year for Mikal Bridges. 5 stocks tonight. And it's a continuing trend with him. 3 steals, 2 blocks. We saw the late steal at the end with the layup. Then he was looking at the Hornets bench and, they didn't like him staring at the bench doing his little nosebleed, celly. They didn't like that. They were staring back at Mikal Bridges, but we move on, win the game. You could talk after that. 3 steals, 2 blocks. All defensive team for Mikal Bridges continues. I mean, we are now 17 games in to this season. And Mikal Bridges, defensively, guys, has been one of the best wing defenders in the entire NBA. He is, I believe, top 3 in steals. The stocks are up. The efficiency is up. 8 of 11 from the field tonight. Right? Mikal Bridges is having a really, really good season for the New York Knicks. A player that plays every single game. So I just want to tip my cap to him because I know you guys see it. I for sure see it. Mikal defensively has been absolutely clutch. And we saw it last year in the playoffs, and it just has carried over here to the 2025-2026 season. And he's been awesome. Cat, I thought was really getting dirty in the post. Tonight was a real physical game. It got kind of chippy in the second half. You know, refs missed some calls, let some things slide. But I thought Cat, again, in the post, just trying to establish position down there and use his body, use his strength. And look, he had 3 turnovers, but he's, you know, I think he's 3rd in the NBA in rebounds. So the rebounding continues. But Cat at the 5, I like it. You know, I like it. And I love tonight because we put up 129 points, yet we only shot 25 threes, right? We only shot 25 threes tonight. 13 of 25, 52%, highest percentage of the season for the New York Knicks. Only shot 25 threes, and we still were able to. This was an amazing, efficient game for the team, right? 89% at the line, 50 of 88 from the field, 57%, right? 52% from 3, man. I love this. Look, Kolek, haven't even mentioned Kolek yet. Tyler Kolek is on the rise, folks. Tyler Kolek, I think, in my personal opinion, has established a rotational spot in this rotation. He has been playing some real good basketball lately, like really good basketball from Tyler Kolek lately. And he just hasn't played. And now that he's getting the opportunity to play and to show his skills, the assists have been up in the limited minutes he has played. And, you know, he had a 3 tonight at the end of the 4th when the Knicks were running up the score because of the point differential, because of the NBA Cup. And I love that, by the way. I wish the point differential was established in regular standings. Like, I wish it was like that, because running up the score at the end of the games is kind of fun. Like, it's right? Don't you guys think it's kind of fun? So Kolek has just been incredible. The vision, a couple of outlet passes tonight, full court passes for Tyler Kolek. We know that he's a great passer. He has been awesome. Clarkson, really efficient in the paint, got into foul trouble there. You could see him kind of frustrated at the end of the bench. But, dude, don't foul. Simple. You get into foul trouble, you're not going to play, right? You're not going to get rewarded for that. Mitchell Robinson, 17 minutes, 5 rebounds, plus 18 on the night. 3 steals, 1 block for Big Mitch. If he's going to play limited minutes, I kind of like him. I kind of like him coming in the second half of the first quarter with the bench guys. And Brunson plays the entire first. But I kind of like that. And, you know, Mike Brown is still experimenting here. But we'll see if this becomes a trend. But I really... look, we've seen Josh Hart start, right? Last year, he was the starter, the main starter. Year prior, he started like half of the season, pretty much. Knicks fans just didn't want him playing a lot. Like, I don't know. Like, offensively, they look good tonight. Like, really good tonight with Josh Hart starting. Again, it could be just against the Charlotte Hornets. Mike Brown's just trying to figure some rotation things out. But it worked, right? And it's something to put on film. And it's something to go back and look at. And Mike Brown's going to love what he saw tonight, especially from Josh Hart. And A+ game from Josh Hart, man. A+ performance from him. Look, he's not going to shoot 4 or 6 from 3 every night. But as long as he's putting them up with confidence, putting them up with, you know, with quickness, making the right decision, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm genuinely okay with that, right? So, shout out to Josh Hart performing at a high level lately. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get those likes up. Grilled says Yabu might be trash. He had a turnover in the 4th. Then he spun around and shot it, and it was like an air ball. And the video I made for my members when I was going through the analytics stats and going through like the heat maps, Yabusele is actually in some lineups where he's producing. Like, offensively, the Knicks play better with Yabusele in the lineup. Like, I don't know if that's because of Yabusele essentially being in the lineup, but his numbers this season behind the scenes, analytic wise, have been good. Now, I don't see it on the court. Like tonight, I don't see it. The rebounding has been there for Yabusele. 4 rebounds tonight. He missed an wide open 3 tonight, and you got to hit those. You got to hit your open 3s. The only thing we could hope for Gershon is time, right? He said before the game, prior to the game, that he's still working, he's still grinding, and you love that. You don't want him to sulk, you don't want him to pout, you don't want him to, lose any confidence. You want him to, build some confidence, and hopefully he can string together a few good games here, because, I've said this, and yet the Knicks haven't seemed like they needed him, but they need him. Right, they need him to hit 1 or 2 threes a game, and look, the analytics like him on the court. So, appreciate you guys in the chat once again. The captain was awesome. I feel like we've glossed over Jalen Brunson. Well, I gloss over Jalen Brunson because it's just to be expected. Like 33, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 14 and 28 from the field. He was dominating his matchup, right? Kind of in a fish, 14 to 28, 2 of 6, only 3 assists. But when he's scoring like that, when he's on a whole nother level than his opponent, when the Charlotte Hornets literally have no one to defend him, then it's really a treat to watch Jalen Brunson operate. Really a treat. Trey Mann was food on the defensive end. LaMelo Ball was food on the defensive end. Defensively, they struggle. And, Kneppel came into tonight, Con Kneppel on the Hornets, he came into tonight shooting, 45% from 3? Shooting lights out, and 0-7 tonight. So, some negative regression there for him. I like that. Look, they only shot 30% from 3, 13 of 43. Defensively, I thought the Knicks were solid. And shout out to the MSG faithful traveling to, well, not traveling. I mean, there's a lot of Knicks fans that live in Charlotte. Like, a lot of New Yorkers transferred to Charlotte, have transferred to Florida. And you heard them MVP chants for Jalen Brunson out in Charlotte. And let's go. Ball to the Clippers, perfect fit. This Rover says, call Mikal the Hamburglar tonight. I got to get a drop for Mikal. And I got to get a new icon and logo for the members to write in the chat. I got to get it. Man, shout out to Mikal, man. Round of applause for Mikal. I got my deuce drop. I got my Kolek drop.
Blocked from behind by Kolek.
I need a Mikal drop. Man, I don't have a Mikal drop in here. Shout out to Mikal. Look, Mikal's been awesome, guys. You know it. You see it. Defensive first team. He's playing like an all-defensive first team this year. And he has to pick up the slack kind of no OG and Obi. And I know like the Hornets bench didn't like him celebrating at the end of the game, but I like that. Like the Knicks need some pizzazz. Like they need some like they need dogs. Like I like that. Like look, you're up. What like 20? What was the score at the time? Like 25 points at the time. You just got a steal. You just laid the ball up, and you do your celly, and then you hear some chirper from the Charlotte bench. So what? You're Charlotte. You're the ones that are down like 20, 25. Do something about it, man. Do something about it. So I like that from Mikal. I want to see more of that from Mikal and the New York Knicks. You're seeing all these brawls and, these guys pushing each other. You don't really see that when you watch the Knicks because we're not about that. And I'm not calling for the New York Knicks to be about that. But I need the New York Knicks to get down and dirty sometimes. Like, I need them to get angry. Like, you don't want opponents to, like you want to obviously strike fear in your opponents, but you have to embody that, mentality sometimes, that New York grit and the New York mentality sometimes. And I thought tonight, didn't really get chippy, but I like that back and forth nature. So shout out to Mikhail. Daniel, what's going on? Appreciate you in the chat. What's going on, Daniel? Hope all is well. Disc Rover says Tyler drove and drew 3 Hornets into the paint for the beautiful dime to Yabu for a practice 3 as he bricked City. Yeah, he missed that wide open 3. It was a nasty wide open 3. Shout out to honorable mention Tyler Kolek defensively. Guys, I don't know if you saw defensively, especially in the first half, he had Brandon Miller on clamps. Like, he was body to body Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller couldn't break free from Tyler Kolek, and I was like, whoa. So Tyler Kolek is a player that's on the rise. Like I said it before, I think he's really a player on the rise, not only offensively on the offensive side, defensively, he is getting after it. And shout out to Jalen Brunson. I thought Jalen Brunson, one of his best defensive games tonight. Shout out to the captain. The captain has really been good, okay, solid defensively this year. Like, he's been okay. So it's not only offensively, defensively, these guys are getting after it. This is when you're starting to see the leap from Kolek. You're starting to see him, do the little things that garner, that catch the attention of Mike Brown. And he has been playing more, and I hope it continues when everyone's back. But you need another ball handler. We've been crying for it. You need another ball handler. And I just love the way the kid has been playing. Sophomore player, and he has taken a leap from last year to this year. He has. I've seen it. He's gotten stronger. He's gotten more confident. Defensively, you see he's locked in, engaged. And he's not a punk, right? He had JB mentality, right? Killer dog mentality. Love what I'm seeing from Tyler Kolek, especially on the defensive end. Any Mikal steal would be a great job. Yeah. I got to get that. I got to get that to you guys. We really do take Brunson for granted. Anyone following this team since 2000s really shouldn't take a player that good for granted. Yeah, just another night for the captain. 8th, I think I wrote it down here. They said it on the broadcast. 8th 30-point game of the season for Jalen Brunson. Think he's number 7 in scoring this year in the NBA. Number 7 for Jalen Brunson. Shout out to the captain, man. The Charlotte Hornets are now 4-14. The NBA has some bad teams, guys. The NBA has a bad team problem. Like, bad team problem. The Detroit Pistons finally lose, huh? Let's go. Cade Cunningham misses a free throw at the end of regulation to tie the ball game. Couldn't be our guy. Couldn't be JB. Cade choked out in Boston, huh? Pistons still on top of the Eastern Conference. The New York Knicks are now 11-6 on the season. We've won 2 straight, and I called a 7-game winning streak. I'll bring up the schedule. They're 7-3 in their last 10, right? 3-5 on the road. 2 straight on the road. 8-1 in Madison Square Garden. I love that. Yeah, this road. We're to Boston. They lost to Boston. Go watch Marty Collins. I love me some Marty Collins, man. I didn't think we would get a Marty Collins reference in here. Damn. Marty Collins. I like Marty Collins' game. I really do. You're 11-6, and you're beating the bad teams. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing, ladies and gentlemen. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Brooklyn, beat. Charlotte, beat. Now you have Milwaukee, and it's looking like Giannis will probably return for that game or prior to that game. I don't know if they're playing tonight. It's looking like Giannis is on the verge on coming back. Versus Toronto on Sunday, no RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is out for a week with a sprained knee, and the Toronto Raptors are playing really well in the East. At Boston, always a tough place to play. They just beat the Detroit Pistons at home. Always a tough place to play. And then Charlotte again. Utah, and then you get some revenge against the Orlando Magic, and then the Indiana Pacers coming up there. But look, taking care of business, you're beating the bad teams, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and not only are you beating the bad teams, guys are playing extremely well. You're getting contributions from everyone, even Kolek. Josh Hart has seemed like he has really, really embraced what Mike Brown is asking for him, and those two have I see them talking on the sidelines. They formed a relationship now, and that's important, right? Because things were, Josh Hart coming in off the bench, he didn't like that to open up the season, and now he's been starting these last couple of games. Wonder if it's gonna stick. I don't know if it's gonna stick, but he seems happier. He seems like a better player, and this little things I'm noticing again. I don't know if that's gonna stick, but love the way he's playing. Love the way he's playing. Pacers went to the end from the NBA Finals to 2-16. Giannis finna drop 40 on Friday. Nah, let's not do that. Let's not do that. The thing about the Pacers is they might stink. They're gonna. I mean, they suck. They stink this year. TJ McConnell is actually on the trade block. I wouldn't mind him, by the way. But they might get a top 5 pick and be right back to contending next year, which is a scary thing with Halliburton. But, shout out to the Knicks getting it done pre-Thanksgiving. I'm sure they're flying back to New York tonight, spend some time with the loved ones tomorrow for Thanksgiving. You're going to be home now versus Milwaukee on Friday versus Toronto on Sunday. So you're home for the weekend, home for Thanksgiving, Black Friday, all the good stuff. And let's go. Let's go. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Once again, the New York Knicks beat the Charlotte Hornets. Final score, 129-101. Let's get it done. Dis Rose says Pacers deserve it for them talking all that mess. Yeah. Yep. I wouldn't say they did. I wouldn't say they deserve it, but look, they were one game away from winning the NBA championship last year, but unfortunately, injuries happened in that game 7 due to Tyrese Halliburton. Let's go to the post-game call-in show. Yuri, what's going on? Yuri's the avid Knicks Nation post-game caller. Appreciate you, Yuri.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I actually was getting a haircut, so I wasn't actually watching this game in the first half, but I was watching all the highlights on my phone. Yo, Josh Hart.
Awesome.
You can't, I love this guy. I love Hart, man. I just can't talk bad enough Hart. He drives me up the wall with his passes, but that lineup tonight looked really good. I don't care if it's the Hornets. Yeah. You win these games. You got to win against the bad teams. Got to stack up the wins.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And JB, shout out to JB, MVP chance in Charlotte. We all love him in Charlotte. Cat had a nice double-double. Bench came to play like usual. One thing I've noticed, Mike Brown is trusting Tyler Kolek, folks. That's what we wanted from, hence his name shall not be spoken, a former coach of last year. Just trust one of your young guys.
You don't want to say his name, Yuri?
I don't want to say his name. I don't want to have the damn bell ring. Fine, I'll say it, Tibbs.
I don't have it yet. I'm slacking. On the drops this year.
I don't care if it's the Hornets, guys. You want the Knicks to win these games. And another thing, too, we're down OG. We're down Landry. We're dealing with injuries, too. If you're a contender.
Sprained shoulder, right? It'll be reevaluated in a month. Good news on that front, so we'll see.
Yeah, so it actually was a sprain.
Yeah.
It actually was a sprain. Which, thank God for them. I'm actually happy that the Knicks PR medical staff is telling us the truth. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
That was a big problem I had with them in the last few years.
Yeah. Now.
But, again,
yeah,
to the point where I say, I don't care if it's the Hornets. You got to beat these teams.
Mac Jean says it's the Hornets, Yuri. Rolling eyes.
Do not care. I do not care. Don't care. You win, you win. We're down OG and we're
They
down
all count
Cam
the
and two of our
same, right?
best players.
They all count the same.
We're
And my
down our
look, they
two.
all count the same. You if we lost this game, Yuri, it would have been a disastrous post game, right? But we won it. We took care of business, right?
Exactly. Took care of business. Why should we complain about beating bad teams? We
Look,
should be happy
last
with
year, you
beating
don't
bad
remember
teams.
last year, Yuri, we lost in Charlotte and the sky was falling.
We lost on a back-to-back.
Yeah, and Thibs played 7
We
guys.
lost. We lost on a back-to-back, guys. Do people not remember that? Like, hello, we lost to the Spurs without Wemby. We should have blown him the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
Lost to the Spurs without Wemby. We lost to the Charlotte Hornets with one of our players that they used last year, that the Knicks gave away to Charlotte.
Yeah. And that was the game where I came on here screaming at Thibs because he didn't expand the rotation. But yeah, that is why you Brooklyn, Charlotte, you win. You take care of business, you move on. That's it. And
That's
they
all
did
I'm
that.
trying to say. To the fans that say, oh, it's the Hornets. Yeah, I get it, it's the Hornets.
Yeah.
But this was the problem we had last year. It was a cardiac affair. Every single time we go up against the bad teams, we were below 500 against sub-bad teams. And another thing, too, another reason why we love this win. Come on, Ant, this is an athletic team. What team gives the Knicks problems? Athleticism,
Yeah.
depth, length. Hornets have that. We should be happy that we're winning these games.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna have to deal with Giannis and the Bucks probably on Friday. We're gonna have to deal with the Raptors, absolutely.
Bring it on.
But I will say one thing: don't be surprised if Mike Brown sticks with that lineup. Oh, Ant, that Josh Hart lineup,
Yeah.
even when OG gets back, I wouldn't be surprised. I think we're gonna get the same lineup as we did from Tibbs last year. But here's the thing: I like how Mike Brown is using that lineup. That's how I envisioned a lineup being used from Tibbs last year. That 5-out lineup. And I'm very happy Mike Brown put it to good use tonight.
Yeah. Look, we'll see if Mike Brown goes to it. Yuri, once again, appreciate the call. Thank you
Absolutely.
for the call as Yuri. As Yuri. As always. Shout out to Yuri in the chat, always calling in to the Knicks Nation show. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Hope you spend time with loved ones and, eat up, grub up, watch some football. And tomorrow should be a very, really special day. And, it's a really fun night because the New York Knicks took care of business against the Hornets. And look, I know, people are saying it's the Hornets. They can't. Look, Mac Jean said they can't guard a parked car. But look, it would have been one thing if the New York Knicks just absolutely face planted tonight against the Charlotte Hornets, but they took care of business. And that's all you want to ask. That's all you ask from them. They took care of business. They got it done, and we move on. Player of the game. Who was it? Who was the defensive player of the game? Have you guys peeped that yet? Was it Hart? Bridges? Who was it? Brandon Ingram, game winner. Wow. Yo, man. Raptors playing good, man. Raptors playing good. Who won the player of the game? Did that come out yet? I don't think that's come out yet. Brown said Bridges was, Jaden. Appreciate you, Jaden. All right. Appreciate you, Jaden. Not sure if Mike Brown spoke. I'm assuming he spoke yet, but trying to pull up his quotes. Give me 1 second. My keyboard's all messed up right now. Bear with me for 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Road dub for the New York Knicks. My keyboard's messed up, so I can't really freaking type. But yeah, look, Charlotte Hornets, you took care of business. Hold on. Let me see if I got type right now because my keyboard, I don't know what happened. I don't know if, All right. Mike Brown. All right, here we go. I got it to work. Man, oh man. Boom. From Stefan Body, Mike Brown said he's not sure. Oh, never mind. That was prior to the game. I'm an idiot. Where are these codes? All right. I can't see Mike Brown codes. I'm assuming they haven't posted them yet. All right. Whatever. Hasn't spoken yet. I'm assuming, because they're not on X, but I'm assuming Mikal won it, and the picture will probably be. This is Cade Cunningham missing that free throw, by the way. I just wanted to play this on the stream. I'm assuming it's Mikal. This is Mikal's first time winning defensive player of the game, right? And you always see him right next to the winner, supporting in the frame, in the picture, right there in the center. So Mikal, I mean, he deserves it. I mean, he deserves it all right now, because he's defensively, he's one of the best in the NBA currently. And shout out to him. Shout out to Mikal. Oh man, LaMelo Ball. LaMelo freaking Ball, ladies and gentlemen. No, second? This is second? What was his first? Did I miss that? What was his first one? All right. Milwaukee, Toronto, Boston, Charlotte, Utah. That is the next 5 games for the New York Knicks. They've won 2 straight. They take care of business against Charlotte and Brooklyn. El Figure, what's going on? Happy Thanksgiving as well to you and yours. Let's be thankful. Extremely thankful. Extremely thankful. Can't wait till tomorrow to rub up, spend time with the family. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours as well. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone in here. Knicks win. Grizzlies. Okay. Appreciate you, Jay. Grizzlies. Tony says, put some respect on Tyler Kolek. Tony, we had a little segment on Tyler Kolek. He's been awesome. He's been playing well. Defensively, he was awesome tonight. He is on the rise. I think Mike Brown is trusting him now. I think he is going to be in the rotation when everyone's healthy, I hope. Because Knicks desperately need another ball handler, and he has proved that he's improved from last year. Like, he's been really, 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 really solid for us. Offensively, with the passing ability, we already know that's there. And defensively, we saw it tonight. I know it's against the Hornets. I know that's everyone's comeback. It was against the Nets and the Hornets. I know, but, you know, we got Milwaukee up next. I kind of want Giannis to play. I kind of want him to play. Come on, bring it on. Need some revenge over them beating us in Milwaukee. So, Esquire says, let's at least get 4 out of the next 5. Let's go. Milwaukee, Toronto, Boston, Charlotte, Utah, right? I can make a case that you can win all of these games at home. You can beat Milwaukee at home. I know Toronto's hot, but you can beat them at home. Charlotte, cake. Utah should be easy, right? It's the NBA. I know Utah. I think Utah has some. They almost beat the Lakers. You know, they're 5-12 in the West. You know, they've had some. They could score. They could score. El Figure says my man Deuce was feeling good tonight. El Figure, what did we say last post game? I like Deuce McBride shooting his open shots. If you're open, shoot him. I don't care that you miss. Tonight, he was open, and some of them he wasn't open, and he was swishing. Seems like every 3 that Deuce McBride shoots, right, is nothing but net. Nothing but net. It doesn't even hit rim. High arcing shot, just go straight down like the sun setting. Whew, right in the net. So, you know, not a daunting schedule at all for the New York Knicks coming up here. And you're 11-6 in the East. And we go back to the East, and it has been, you know, the Heat have been a surprise to some, not to me. The The Pistons, they lose tonight. The Raptors, second in the East. The Cavs, 12-7. Hawks, 11-8. They lost a lot yesterday. Orlando, like, it's this is a whole big like cluster right here. Every team is within like 1 or 2 games right here, from 8 to like 4, like 1 or 2 games. So, and then you have the bottom barrel, the Hornets, the Nets, the Wizards. Hey, now the Washington Wizards win. Will we get that pick? Will we get the Wizards pick next summer? No. We're not going to get the Wizards pick. Loud and clear, what's going on? Appreciate you in the chat. Loud and clear, hope all is well. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on in Sacramento? Yeah, they might have a fire sale. OKC can't lose. Lakers fluke 13-4. Right? Let's go. Some bad teams in the league. There are some bad teams in the NBA, right? And right now, you've hit that's another thing where I don't really put any stock into when people say it's against the Nets and the Hornets. I get it, but it's a confidence booster. Like, it builds habits. It builds good habits, and tonight was a really good night in terms of habits for the New York Knicks. They implemented their offense, they executed their offense, and they got really good contributions from players. Josh Hart, Mikal, Deuce, Kolek. So they're building good habits, and that carries over. Hopefully it carries over to the next game, right? It puts good habits on film. It puts really good habits on film, right? So I don't really care that it was against the Hornets, and hopefully we can continue this in Madison Square Garden. Dis Rover says everybody played well tonight except Yabu Seli. I try to like spew good things about Yabu, and like I tried to do earlier. Like I said, all the lineups, he's analytically the numbers like him out there on the floor for the New York Knicks. It'll change, right? It'll change. I hope. Hopefully he gets better. Tony says, I like Mitch coming off the bench for us. So do I. But I also like him starting. It's like this weird thing where I guess it will depend on the matchup. But it gives Mike Brown an option. Cat, I think, is really good either way. Defensively, I think the Knicks are better with Mitch out there. Offensively, the Knicks are really good with Mitch out there too. But Cat at the 5 seems comfortable, opens up the floor. When you put him out there with 4 shooters like they did tonight, I mean, if you want to call Josh Hart a shooter, he has been in the month of November, by the way, like 43%. I mean, Cat can operate with tons of space in the paint, right? And I like that, but I also like Mitch starting. So it's like one of those things where it's like, I guess it would have to depend on the matchup. Like in a 7-game series against the Pistons, do you start Mitch? I would. Or if it's against the Cavs, do you start Mitch? Against the Twin Towers over there, I would. So I guess it'll depend, but I want to see if Mike Brown continues to start Josh Hart. El Figgy says, yo, why does Jordan Clarkson remind me of a character from Avatar? Because of his braids? I never really looked at it like that. Yeah. BBL Yabu can move.
Bruh.
Oh my God, he calling him BBL Yabu. Disrover says, seriously, I have no clue what happened to him. Last season on the Sixers, he was back and dudes down into the paint for dunks and everything. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it, Disrover. Is it just strictly weight? Like, if we're being real, is he just overweight and he just can't move and move laterally? Is it just his weight? Could be. I think he was, 15, 20 pounds overweight than last year? I think he needs to shed some weight. He can't even dunk. Cat caught him on a alley-oop versus the Nets. It was like a if I were to grade that pass last game, it was like a C plus. It wasn't that great of a pass, but he still should have converted on it. Yabusele. So, El Figgy buggy eyes. Yeah. Yeah, now I see it. Now I see what you're talking about with Clarkson. But, Clarkson, foul trouble. I look, you saw him frustrated at the end of the bench tonight. Bro, stop getting into foul trouble. You can stay out there. Nelly Nell says Yabu can be trade bait at the deadline. Yeah, you could package him with somebody and trade him for, a player that can contribute. I think he's eligible December 15th, right, if I'm not mistaken. So I would say the Knicks are probably giving him until the trading deadline to see if he can improve. Otherwise, if you get to February, and he's still the same, how can you have any confidence and trust in him in the playoffs, right? Blind faith at that point. So, yeah, El Figgy. Foul trouble tonight. Couple of games this year where he's dumb fouls as well. You see him at, frustrated. I would like to see Clarkson play more. He's, really efficient at the rim. And he's really getting to the rim at will. And, hopefully that can turn around. Dis Robert says, this just in. Mikal got the hard hat and Tim's. Let's go. Let me see if I can put it up. See if I could put it up. Put it up. See if I could put it up. Where is it? Where is it? Boom. Let's go. You got Mikal here. Hard hat, Tim's. Deuce on his right. Kolek. Diawara, how about him hitting a three? Shout out to him. Cat not even looking. Hart not even paying attention. Yabusele's looking at the hard hat and Tim's like, bro, one day I'll get there. Look at Yabu. He's like side-eyeing the hard hat and Tim's. Like one day I'll get there. Iron, I see you in the post-game call, and I'll get to your call in a bit. Thank you, Yuri. Jordan Clarkson, Avatar, Jordan Clarkson. No Brunson inside unless he's hiding somewhere. Right? Unless he's hiding somewhere and we don't see him. He's normally hiding in these photos. Missing a lot of people in these photos. In this photo. Excuse me. Shout out to Mikal once again. All right, let's get to Iron and the call in. We got Iron calling into the show. Iron, hope all is well. Happy Thanksgiving. New York Knicks win 129-101. How are you?
What up, y'all? Can y'all hear me good? Y'all hear me good? I'm in the kitchen right now.
Yeah, I got you. We got
tomorrow's Big Turkey Day, y'all. So
yep.
I turned from Iron Bear Grylls to Chef Boy You're Black because I had to hook it up. You know what I'm saying? So my daughters called me, just a little jokey joke for y'all. But
love that.
Look, man, I'm gonna keep it real brief. It was a good win.
Yep.
It's a good win tonight. Like I told you, I've been watching these guys for a while now. It's nice to see us win the games we should win, but not just win, but win convincingly. You know what I'm saying? Like just easy breezy. Look, not one to nitpick, but I'm gonna go there because you know what I like to do. We all about to go on vacation. The young heads is all from college, high school. the old heads like us, we got our few days off. What are our kids though? Like Tyler, Pacone, Ariel, Diawara. What are they? Like, cause their contracts got to be coming up. Like, look, I don't do the numbers thing or whatever, but I know they've been here for a minute. And, like,
Iron
are they
Kolek
good?
has been playing well. In terms of Daddy, he's been a disappointment. I think that's been a waste of a pick. A lot of people just want to see him play. Huck Porty looks like he lost his powers a little bit out there. I mean, tonight, even in the garbage minutes, it seems like he was just lost. So right now, I would say Kolek and Diawara are the two youngins, and you got, I think, a couple more years of their deals.
You know,
But yeah,
you mentioned Diawara. I really like this kid.
yeah,
I think he's like 19, 20. He's long, athletic, and he has the courage. He goes out there. But because it's weird to me, and because I'm just like, when we're up 15, 20, late in the third, fourth quarter, and these kids aren't even getting that much run, does that mean, the coaching staff has seen enough? Like they know what they are? They're like, all right, you know what? Like, you know, these kids are just going to be add-ons to a trade package because I'm looking at it like, these last two games,
yeah.
they were easy W's. And we really didn't see the kids. And I'm just saying to myself, like, because, even if you're looking to move them or what have you, you would just want to highlight them a little bit, right? Like let them
Showcase
get
them.
out there, show a little shine, let them get 7 points, 8 points in,
Mhm.
12 minutes or what have you, get them a little run.
Mhm.
And let our veterans get their stretch their legs. So it's all good, but I don't know, and chat, fill in, throw your thoughts in there. But I just find it weird that these kids are getting no run, and I don't know, maybe it's me because I watch every game. I don't see them play, and I have no like when I'm chilling at the bar, we playing poker, we playing spades, or we just chopping it up, and they're like, "Yo, what's up with Hawk Porty?" I'm like, "Well, like what kind of player is he? Is he a lockdown guy? Is he got to get you buckets?
Yeah.
Is he a dive on the floor guy? What about Pacome? He's like 20 years old, 6'9". I thought his jump shot was water. I'm like, like the only guy I really know about is Tyler. I don't know. I took enough of your time. Holler back. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, look, it's been a concern, the development of especially Daddy and Huck Porty and even Kolek. A lot of people said that, these guys would take a leap, but we haven't seen the leap. Now, I've seen the leap from Tyler, and I hope that he gets playing time and he looks like he's in rotation. But this Rover said in the chat they didn't play tonight because the development of it was a cup game, so the point differential matters. But yeah, it's a concern. Look, you need your young talent to blossom, right? You need to complement your main guys with young talent. And, quite frankly, we really haven't seen that. And depth matters. So when we have guys down like we do now with Shamit, with OG Anunoby, you want these guys to step in. But yeah, second regime, and these guys really haven't played again. Now we've seen more Diawara over Daddy, and that's telling. That just means that
Yeah,
they don't
man.
trust Daddy at all.
Yeah. And, not for nothing, we're not an old team. Everyone's in their mid to late 20s, but, even off the bench, Clarkson, Yabusele, we don't got kids coming off the bench. We have a
Yeah,
very experienced bench, which is great for the now. But when I'm
yeah,
looking at our cupboard and I'm like, okay, what are we looking at draft picks? You feel me? And I'm like,
yeah. I got you.
okay,
I got you.
draft picks is, God forbid if someone gets unhappy or, a major injury happens, what do we, now we stuck in that mediocrity. Not to say will be garbage, but I'd rather be poor and get picks than be stuck in that 6-7 seed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. Hey, Iron, appreciate the call. Thank you for calling in. As
Yo,
always.
happy holidays
Happy
to
Thanksgiving.
everybody, to you and yours too, yo. You know, and you're doing a great job, man. Shout out to the greatest chat in the world.
Appreciate that. Shout out to Iron in the chat. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays as well. Yeah, look, he makes a good point. Look, the kids haven't really played. And, Kolek has looked good here, though. I want to, say that because Tyler Kolek has looked really good for this basketball team. And that's promising, right? But, yeah, I mean, look, you're comparing to the top teams in the NBA. And, they all have this deep bench and this young youthful talent and these wings that 3-and-D guys that are flying around, athletes. Knicks lack some athletes as well, which is why they like a Diawara. But time will tell. Let's say we get to March and more March or April, and Diawara has improved drastically, which I hope, but I don't expect. Or Tyler Kolek has really improved and he looks good, but Daddy, I have no hope for. I have no hope for the back on Daddy anymore. I don't. And Hukporti too. That's a name to watch because I don't know. It looks like he lost something. It looks like he lost a little. Looks like he's playing timid out there when he's out there, and it sucks because we saw him in beginning of the season, game 1. He looked really good, and we just really haven't seen that from him. Maybe he's battling something, but shout out to Iron. As always, calling into the show. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to every single one of you guys. Knicks win. Final score 129-101. We got to extend this winning streak and beat the Milwaukee Bucks on Friday. Black Friday in the Garden. Right? They play Friday, right? I don't want to give false information. Yeah, 11/28 Friday, Prime Video in the Garden. Black Friday game. Evan, what's going on? Appreciate you in here. Hope all is well. Disrover said, I already said that. Appreciate the members in here. I'm posting more members only videos, as you guys saw. I don't know if the members saw my latest video, me going through the analytics stats, the websites that I like to dig into the stats, and I'll be doing that weekly for you guys. So El Figure says yes, and I noticed Hukporti has been playing timid. Yeah, it's weird. This looks like he lost his powers. Even tonight, there was a play where he got the ball passed to him on a good pass, and he just had an easy shot, and then he made it a harder shot. And I'm just like, bro, what's happening here? And that's a problem. Because I had high hopes for him. So yeah, the best we can do. Jesse said the best we could do for our young kids is sending them to Westchester to get some playing time. Yes. Send these guys to Westchester to get some playing time, and hopefully they can grow and blossom out there in Westchester and see them. But right now, the Knicks are so decimated by injuries, and El Figgy said, any update on OG Anunoby? No update on OG Anunoby. So far, it's just, the same 2 to 4. He'll be updated. He'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks, they said. So we're starting to get close to that point. Landry Shamet is out for a month due to a shoulder sprain. So that's some good news on Landry Shamet. He'll be reevaluated in a month, shall I say. So he could be out longer than that. And I probably do think he'll be out longer than that. Probably we won't see him until next year, which sucks. But yeah, so just got to stay healthy. Just have to stay healthy. El Figure says, I hate to see Huck and Daddy take a step back. Yeah, especially Huck. Especially Ario Hukporti. That's a weird one. That's one where I would like to just see him in the G League to get some confidence back. Because what it looks like is that he's lacking confidence. Daddy A, I mean, guys, I don't know. Buzzer Beater, what's going on? Appreciate you in the chat, Buzzer Beater. Hope all is well. That's a weird one, the Hukporti one. Hopefully they can put him in Westchester, but the Knicks are so decimated right now. They need bodies. These guys have to play sometimes, and we just have to hope that these guys can turn it around. So, yes, once again, Knicks win. I will see you guys on Friday. Have a happy, very happy Thanksgiving. Super thankful for every single one of you. Super thankful for the chat. Thankful for the members. Thankful for my family. Thankful for life. Thankful for everything, man. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe. And I'll catch you guys on Friday. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. I'll see you next time. Peace.